Happy Facebook Live time. I am Melissa Kerman with Melissa's Crafting Treehouse, and welcome to some paper crafting fun on a Thursday night. I have some fun for you tonight made with the Sweet Stockings Designer Series paper. I've got two projects. One's a clean and simple, and one is not clean and simple. We'll keep it at that. I've got some announcements tonight, and yeah, and that's about it. So let's go ahead and get started. I see people joining in. Welcome, Elizabeth. And let's see, Carol, good to see you here. I don't think I recognize your name. Welcome. I don't know that I'm going to try to say your last name, however. Hi, Shelly, good to see you. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I did. We traveled a little bit, not too far, but had a great Thanksgiving with our family in West Virginia. So hello, Bonnie. So good to see people joining. All right, so let's just dive right in. Again, I've got two projects I'm going to share with you tonight with this Sweet Stockings Designer Series paper. And let's see, so announcements. Let's see. You guys may realize the last chance list is now live. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's all about things retiring from the July to December mini catalog that retires on January 3rd. So that list is out. There's a lot of stuff on there, and there are things that are 50% up to 50% off. Some things aren't discounted at all, but there's a lot of things on the list. So make sure to check it out if you haven't already. And it was in my newsletter last week. If you're not a newsletter subscriber, let me know. I'd be happy to add you. Hi, Jolene. Good to see you here. Hi, MJ. So last chance list. There's also a carryover list. So there's a small smattering of products that are going to be carrying over and will be available on January 4th. And then another set of products that are going to go away, but then they'll come back next July. So those lists, again, were both in my newsletter. So definitely check it out. Hi, Sharon. Okay. Let's see what else. There's a clearance rack refresh going on right now. Some things have let's see, some things are probably have already run out. So there's super deep discounts on the things that they put out on that refresh list. And some of them are like Valentine's things from last year. So, oh, your last name is pronounced Shortino. Thank you so much, Carol. I appreciated that. I don't think I would have guessed that. You're probably used to that, actually. People, okay, so anyway, let's see what else. Okay, so last but not least on the announcements front, I have a new class in December. It's called Watercolor Techniques. Now, as I've played around with what I'm going to do for that class, the possibilities are vast, okay? There's so many different things you can do with watercoloring, watercolor paper. Been a little bit overwhelming to kind of narrow it down. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to do sort of a smattering of things. Some freehand watercoloring, and some options that are more creating effects with watercolor backgrounds. So some things that are a little bit easier, some things that might be, you know, perceived as a little bit more complicated, but just a nice little smattering of things to try out. So I do my technique classes every other month. And there are 3 ways to sign up. You can either sign up with a kit, and the cost of that is $40, and you get kits in the mail to make the projects, plus materials to make a quick reference technique page. And then you also get the electronic materials, which include 2 PDFs, very comprehensive technique-focused tutorial with pictures and steps and all that good stuff, and a PDF that focuses on the projects, the dimensions, and supplies and all that sort of thing. And then the video. So the video is actually a live event that's going to be held on Tuesday, December 28th. And you can watch it live or the replay. So those are all the sort of components. And if you buy the Primo option, the $40 with a kit option, you get all of that stuff. Then you also have the option to do the electronic only option. And that is everything but the kit in the mail of all the things I listed, and then that's $30. And last but not least, you have the option to just purchase the video, and that's only $10. So lots of choices, hopefully to suit different needs and interests. Those details were in my newsletter. I will include links in the description of this video, whether you're on YouTube or on Facebook. Those will be in the video description, so you can check it out there. So the RSVP deadline is December 14th, so you got a little bit of time to sign up. Hi, Melissa. And like I said, the live event is on December 28th, and you can watch live or the replay. We do it on Zoom, streamed to a private Facebook group, so you can choose to watch in the Facebook group or join us in Zoom, where we see each other, and it's like being in a class together, almost live, and it's really quite fun. I enjoy being a part of the class experience where we can interact and have a conversation and whatnot, so it's really lovely. But you have the choice. You can do it however you're comfortable. And you can do it on Zoom and not even show your face, although I love it when people show their faces because it's just nice. It gets me to be able to meet you just like you get to see me and my face. It makes it a little bit more personal, so I really enjoy that. And hopefully you guys too. I think people who participate through Zoom really enjoy it that way. All right, so the other thing you should know is that my watercolor technique classes are provided free to my team members, my Treehouse Chicks team members. They get all the electronic materials for free. They can choose to buy the kit in the mail if they want, but they get those materials each time I launch a new technique class. So it's really a nice perk of being part of my team. I think my team members would echo that. All right, so that's pretty much it on the updates. So let's go ahead and dive in on the project. And I'm going to face my camera down and we'll go ahead and get started. Hi Kimmy, good to see you here. Glad to see you've joined in. And Charlotte, nice to see you. I've probably missed people, but just know I'm going to pay attention and look at all the comments after the fact, and don't want anybody to feel left out. So I know you're out there. Okay, so we do have a hashtag for tonight, and I'm going to be giving away the 2 cards that I'm making today to one lucky person. Now, I've chosen the hashtag obsessed, which I will explain over the course of my presentation tonight. I am kind of obsessed with the second card that I'm making. I'm going to show you the simpler one, but the second one, which is more complicated, it really just shows how I'm obsessed with paper crafting and with the card itself. So just keep that in mind, hashtag obsessed. And I know you haven't seen the projects yet, but you can just put in hashtag obsessed at any point, and you will be entered into the drawing to receive the 2 cards I'm making today. So what I'm featuring today is the Sweet Stockings Designer Series paper. Now, the November Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle featured this suite, and there was a stamp set that went with it as well, but I just got the Designer Series paper. And between the 2 projects that I'm making, I'm going to be using 5 out of the 6 patterns. So this is the only one I'm not using. It's actually one of my favorites, but it just didn't really go with the design. And I see, Elizabeth, you're obsessed with card making. Yes, I know I'm in good company here. So this is the only one I didn't use. And in the 2 cards that I made, I also did not use this side, but I did use, no, actually I didn't use that side either. So there's 2 that I didn't use. I didn't use these 2. And I love them both, right? But it just, like I said, didn't work with the design. I'm going to be using all 3 of these patterns, some the front, some the back, for each of the designs I'm making today. Now for the first card, the one that I consider clean and simple, was the one I did for the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle. I've also used for this card the Holly Jolly Wishes and the tailor-made tags. Let me show you the card. There it is. Now, if you're not familiar with the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle, just a tiny little tidbit of information about that. We do one each month. There's a design team, 12 of us that design projects for it. And this tutorial bundle is just adorable, right? So it's November's tutorial bundle. I'm a little bit late in sharing it. And normally people who order, anybody who places an order in my online store in November would get this tutorial bundle for free. Since we're past November, obviously you don't get it for free that way. Team members get it for free each month. And you can also purchase the tutorial bundle. It's $12 for the tutorial bundle, and I am going to be providing a link in the description of this video and on YouTube as well, and in the blog post for these 2 projects today, so that you can get that tutorial bundle for 50% off. So just if that's something you're interested in, make a little mental note in your head, and make sure to check the video description later. All right, so this is project number 1. Super simple, so let's go ahead and put that one together. And then I'll, I'm going to save the one I'm obsessed over for a little bit later. Okay, so this comes together super fast. I've got an old olive card base, put a white piece inside already. And I've got a piece of basic black cardstock, and I'm going to go ahead and just attach some of these adorable designer paper patterns, and they're sized to fit on the paper with an even edge on between all the pieces. Now I'm going to just lay it down here ever so carefully. I'm not pressing it down because I want to make sure that I've got my nice even edge. So does anybody else have this paper, love this paper? You guys know I am not like a cutesy, generally speaking, style girl, and I'm not even necessarily an animal lover or a pet lover. I mean, I love some animals, they're cute, but I'm not a pet owner. It's just not my thing. But this paper is so cute. It's so stinking cute, and I do love stockings. Stockings, I have definitely a soft spot for stockings. So the fact that this has little stockings in it of various sizes, and the cute little animals sticking out. So who puts animals in their stockings? Like, right? Maybe a stuffed animal in a stocking, right? But not like real animals. Anyway, I just think they're so adorable. So this is the panel that's going to go on the front of my card. Nice little sampler of the designer paper as well. So let's go ahead and attach this. Now, incidentally, the Sweet Stockings Designer Series paper is on the last chance list. So I looked it up today. It's not actually on sale, but if you like this paper, you know, so what? Just get it, whether it's on sale or not. All right, so now I've used some of the TaylorMade tags, these dies, to die cut 3 different tags. So 2 of this size, 1 in cherry cobbler and 1 in black. And then the second one, the third one rather, is somewhere around here. Oh, here it is. This is what I'm going to stamp the sentiment on. And I've used, like I said, the Holly Jolly Wishes set. This is also retiring. I have used this set so much, especially this sentiment and the We Wish You a Merry Christmas just couldn't be more versatile. And then a little bit of this one too. It's the most wonderful time of the year. That's a great set. And again, it's going away as of January 3rd. But it's also, you should know, it's while supplies last, so don't wait if you want it. I know some things on the last chance list have already disappeared. They've already gone away, so which is really sad. So the December tutorial bundle theme, while I stamp this, I will talk, is the Whimsy and Wonder suite. And the paper in that suite is just stunning. Guess what? It's on the retired list, and it's already gone. So sad. When you see the projects that I made with that paper, well, I actually posted one just today. But the other one that was for the Simple Sweet Samplers tutorial bundle for December is also a great project. So I'm going to have to remake it with paper that's actually available. So I don't know who else loves that Whimsy and Wonder paper. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It is just so pretty. It's got these specialty elements of like shimmery metallic, but it's not just a metallic, it's actually iridescent. So how you turn the paper, when you turn the paper at different angles, it it shows up as a different color. It's really wonderful. If you haven't seen my blog post that went live, let's see, it went live yesterday. There was a link in my newsletter. Definitely go check it out because I showed several pictures for the projects. There were 3 of them that I posted in that post, where you could see different pictures at different angles of the same card, showing some purple, some blue, some silver, all on the same image. I don't know, it was so cool. Anyway, this one has dimensionals on the back side. The backings are already off. I did my little trick there. I'm just going to line up my opening and just stagger it ever so a little bit. Okay, it's hanging off the edge, but that's okay. And I've also got adhesive on the back side of my black one. And then I'm just going to take this white one, and I am going to attach it over the top. And I'm just going to use some white glue on here. Keep it simple. Now, 2 weeks ago when I went live, let's see, I'm going this way now. I want to line up my openings because I'm going to be putting some ribbon in there. So this is kind of as close to clean and simple as I get. I know some people wouldn't consider this clean and simple, but I guess I'm just a complicated sort of gal. What can I say? So next, I'm going to take a little piece of my white crinkled seam binding and this gorgeous glittery white ribbon. This is actually carrying over. I'm so excited. It's a lot like, we have black ribbon that's like this too with glittery elements in it, but there's iridescence in it. This was on, I used this ribbon on one of my Whimsy and Wonder cards. All right, so I'm just going to put one piece over the other and lift that up. I'm just going to feed it through my opening. Let's see, turn that around. Line them up so it's easy to get in there. And I've got a nice pointy cut on my ribbon, makes it easier to get it into the opening. And then all I have to do is tie this off. And, okay, so I'm going to tie it off with a little piece of black baker's twine. And guess what? I don't really need to do that. You can see it on the finished card, right? So that's the finished card. It's exactly the same. Just tied that off and I'm all set, right? Snipped off the little ends so that it was as long as I wanted them to be. So there is card number 1, clean and simple. I'll finish that second one off camera later. All right, on to the card I'm obsessed about. Now, this card is sort of, I think of it as like paper dolls. I made it quite some time ago when I was playing in my craft room on a Saturday, and I just sort of went down this rabbit hole and I fell in love and I just had to play with it. I was playing with it for a very long time because you're going to see all the detail in this card. Okay, so here is the card I'm obsessed over. So this is the reason for the hashtag obsessed, because who else but an obsessed paper crafter would do this with all this detail. So we're going to build this mantle. And each of the pieces is fussy cut, and I've done a lot of the pieces ahead of time. So never fear, we're not going to be here all night long, but I wanted you to see where we're going before I do anything else. Okay, so we're starting with a piece of, let's see, I think this is gray granite. The designer paper here comes from the Bloom Where You're Planted Designer Series paper. Now, I have hardly any left of this design. Now, I could have pulled in this paper here. I'm trying to mimic the look of wallpaper in the back. Oh, Sally, I'm so glad you love it. Oh, I love that. Capitals and 3 loves. That just makes me so happy. I know. Who else is obsessed? So my question to you really is, who of you would take the time to make this card? And I'm going to give you every last little detail that you need in order to be able to do it. So when you can just comment and let me know, yes, I would make that card. Yes, I'm obsessed. Fireplace, I love it. Whatever you want to post to tell me that you are obsessed enough to make this card, that's all I need to hear. Okay, so gray granite. Now, when I made my second version, since I didn't have any more of the other paper, I went and grabbed a piece of designer paper that was from one of the old Celebration papers, okay? But it works really well as a background for the sort of wallpaper, so I just went with it since I'd already cut it and had it ready. Like I said, I started this design quite some time ago, and it just took me a while to get around to showing it. So Lee, you're obsessed? You're going to make one of these? I love it. All right, and you will definitely need this designer paper for it, right? Okay, so I've started with my base, and now let's start building my fireplace. So I'm going to start with a piece of black, and I've put it onto one of my little plasticized sheets. This is kind of a guide, and my plastic piece is cut to 3 3/16 by 4 7/16. That's just the tiniest little bit less than 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. Seeing, okay, I see everybody's comments. I have to watch. Let's see. Oh, making the fireplace a greenish marble. That's a fun idea. And yes, many animal lovers, Lauralee. Good to see you here, by the way. All right, so I digress. So I cut this piece of the plasticized thing to be a guide for me, because it's going to make this whole process of putting this together so much simpler. So the black is really like the back of the fireplace, right, where the wood would be. And I'm going to start building my pieces. So I've got a piece right here that is going to be one of the side pieces. I've already put my little white strips on it. And this width is the same width as this. So it's just going to make it super easy for me to line things up and put it together. So let's see, let's just go ahead and attach. Now if it's not exactly the same, it's not going to be a big deal. So like I'm a little bit in there, but that's okay. And then I've got my second one here. And actually, let's show you this. So I've got all my pieces all lined up here, right? A lot of them have adhesive on the back side already just to make it easy so we're not here all night long. So I've got my little tiny strips. Just gonna go ahead and attach them so that they're equally spaced. So when I was designing this, and I do this a lot, I have a vision of what I want to do, and I go online, look up fireplace images on Google, fireplace images, and then I just get all kinds of ideas of how I want to do my layout. So now, I didn't show you, but these had foam adhesive sheets on the back. Forgot to show you these two pieces here. They're popped up. I've used a lot of dimension in this. Oh, Elizabeth, you're going to make it wonderful. All right, so now I'm going to grab this piece, which is really the body of the mantle. Again, got dimensionals on the back side, and I've left extra room here because it's going to hang over this section here. So again, the top of this should line up with the top of my mantle. So this is going to make it easier for me to figure out where to place my pieces. Now it's supposed to also be centered side to side, so I have to actually get over it and figure this out. Okay, here we go. It's just a little bit hanging off the right and the left, and justified all the way to the top. Okay, so you see, there we go. It's actually lined up right over the top. Now I could pull this off now if I wanted to, but I'm just going to keep using it as my little surface. All right, next I've got the top of my mantle. I've used some of the foam adhesive strips on this, and it's going to be attached right at the very top. So again, whoops, it actually is supposed to hang off a little bit also. So let's do it like this so I can see how it's hanging over. That's about right. But it's attached. I can always snip off a little bit on the edge if I need to. And this mantelpiece is a little bit wider than the one on here. You know, sometimes it's just that way. So now I've got these little itty bitty pieces that are going to be going in here. So what I have on the backs of each of these little pieces is some dried multi-purpose liquid glue, so that I could just quickly, if it's very tacky, this is the glue I'm talking about. I do that a lot. Put it on my piece, let it air dry, and then it just makes it so easy to lift it up. Did the same thing on this piece, and I literally, you guys are gonna laugh at me, put this glue on these like probably a month or two ago when I made this. So now this piece here is gonna line up right at the bottom. See what I mean? Like paper dolls, right? Super fun. Okay, and now I'm going to get my positioning of my middle section pieces. Got a little bit less room in here than I think I did on the first one, just because this top piece is a little bit wider. Let's see if I can. There we go. If that fits in there, let's see, that's got to come out a little bit. Need my paper piercing tool. Getting the spacing is the only real tricky part here. Getting my pieces sized. Okay, last but not least, my second piece at the top. It's a little squeezy in there, but you know, it works. Voila, my fireplace. Okay, look at that. Okay, so fun, right? So we've got our base. We're like on the way here. So now I'm going to grab my sentiment. Now this comes from the Tidings and Trimming stamp set. This is in the annual catalog, so it's not going anywhere, so yay, at least not for now. And I'm just going to kind of lay that down here. Now, for my stockings, I have cut some smaller stockings. So there's a whole bunch of different stockings that you can pick from in this paper pack. Grab my paper just to give you an idea. So just, let's see, I think there's at least 6. So there's the ones I used on here, these 3, and then I'm using 3 different ones. So the ones I'm using on this one are a little bit smaller. And what I've done on these, I've got a little dimensional on the back side and a tiny little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue at the top, so that the top of the little cat in this case, is that not adorable? So cute, right? Is going to stick to the top of the mantle. Now I got to remember what positioning I'm doing on these. I think I'm going to do this one to the left. And what I really want it to look like is like the little hook there, the little, you know, what do you call that? The string is just touching the top of the mantle as if it were hanging. And then I've got this little dog, again, cut out, dimensional on the bottom, wet glue at the top. And again, I want that little loop to sort of be touching the bottom of the mantle, the bottom of the top of the mantle. What do I know I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. And then check this out. A very adorable little mouse. Oh my gosh. And the cutting for these stockings is really not that hard because, you know, the stocking portion is round. Now this one doesn't even have a hook, so, you know, we're just going to pretend, right? So a little bit different. Now this one's got to be a little bit more at an angle and a little bit further down, I think. Yeah, whatever. I want it to be lower, but then the little loop is too hanging off the edge. Okay, that's just going to have to do, okay? So you can see the difference. Smaller stockings, bigger stockings. These are actually probably more to scale, right? You love fussy cutting? Oh, well, this is definitely your card, Melissa. Yes, this is a lot of fussy cutting. Okay, so let's get to some of the other fussy cutting. So now I'm actually going to do the end part of this. So on one of them, we have a little fish tank that came from this designer series paper. And again, oh yay, somebody's giving me hearts. Thank you so much. I love that. And I've done all the cutting except for the very bottom bit. Super easy, quick little cut. And on the back side, I've got 2 layers of dimensionals. It's double high. So again, just wanted some really nice dimension on this card. Now, I can't actually do anything with that because it's not attached to the card. So let's do that. Let's attach to the card base. Okay, and that looks like it's, oh darn. lifting up the bottom of my mantle here. It's sort of sagging in the middle there. I have to put a dimensional underneath. Okay, so I'm going to use my paper piercing tool. I love to use this tool for this. And I'm going to pick up one of my small dimensionals. I'm going to take off the backing of it. And I'm just going to tuck it under the mantle here because it's wanting to sort of fall down, and I want it to be raised up. Keep that dimension going, and then we'll just put my little mouse back on there. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and attach this to the front. Now, because I have the foam adhesive pieces on the side panels, I have adhesive on the black element and then another one on the side. I've got plenty of adhesive on here, so all I have to do is place it down on the front of my card. And I'm just going to center it. Okay, so there we go. I think my sentiment's good right there. Now for my finishing touches. So I've got my fish bowl, and I want that to be kind of sitting on the mantle. It's going to be a little bit more on it than the last one because it's thicker. How'd I end up with such a thick piece in comparison? It's okay. And then I've got my little bird with the letter, right? So perfect. And that comes from this designer series paper. And I just need to trim off the last little bit. And my dimensional is getting pretty close to it on the back side. All right. It's really close to the top there. Let's see if I can move it. Don't want it to be showing. I'm just going to cut off a tiny little bit of this dimensional just so that it's not so close to the edge, but I still have the height. So this is also double height like the fishbowl. All right, so now this baby's going to go right over here. Got our little letter there. Okay, now we're moving to the very end of things. I got an inside piece. Just stick that inside. We're in the home stretch here. Now, this is the most detailed fussy cutting probably that I have ever done. So I used some of these ornaments here, and you can see here, this is the piece that I cut this from. It's almost completely cut. I just have the tiniest little bit to cut. Let's see here. Grab my scissors, and I even have dimensionals on the back side. This is very delicate. Let's see. Okay, it is actually out of there. So I've already cut that. So here's my little string. And on the back side, I have the mini dimensionals cut in half. And it's actually slightly less than half, just because you really want them to be hidden behind the ornament. So there's the back side. I've got one that I still need to put on. And I love to use my paper piercing tool again to pick it up and place it onto there. And then the other way I like to use my paper piercing tool is to lift up the backing. So I just pull that little backing off. These little these tools are so helpful. Okay, so let's get this baby in here. So I'm going to just tuck that in. Try not to rip it while I do it, right? Oh no, got to be a little bit more to the right. I'm holding my breath here, are you guys? All right. I think we got that. It's a little bit higher than my last one. That's okay. It's that fat mantle top, I guess. And then I've got another little tiny single red ornament there. That's going to go over here, kind of to help it look continuous. Just dropped it. I'm going to use my paper piercing tool. Makes it so much easier to position. So I'm kind of making it angled so that it looks like that line is continuous with the other bit. All right. Get down top. And then I think I have one more little tiny string. Where'd it go? Oh no. It's around here somewhere. It might have fallen off. You probably wouldn't even notice if I didn't put this last little piece in. There was another. Okay, well, I'll just show you on the final one, right? So I have another little bit that I prepared, those two little ornaments, off to the left, which I'll find somewhere. It's probably attached to my pants or something. You know how that is. So there we go. Is that not adorable? So now one thing I have done to make this manageable. Oh, look. There it is. It's so small. So now I just have to have the pleasure of putting it on. So for this one, I have a mini glue dot, half of one on this side, and then some dried wet glue on the right side, the white glue. So I'm just going to tuck that under the little bird's tail, and just got to be tucked in enough so that it'll not hang off the edge. There we go. That'll do. Okay, very good. I knew I was going to find that piece. So there are my two cards. There's my two, final of those. And then got this card here. And yay, can you believe it? We did it. All those pieces and parts. So what I have created to make this super easy, I will take a photograph of this. It will be in the blog post for this project here, is this little guide. Okay, so yes, very tiny little cuts. Yes, easy to see why I'm obsessed. I know, so cute. I'm so glad you like it, Jolene. So I have cut written out the dimensions for each of these little pieces. These are the side pieces, these guys, dimensionals or foam adhesive sheets. The backdrop piece is the black. Now the only thing that I did not include on here is the dimension for this, if you decide to do something like this as a guide to help you put it together. But I will put this together and include that in my blog post. So if you guys want to use that information, you'll have it. So so made it super easy so it can be replicated as long as you're willing to do a lot of little tiny cuts and a little tiny attaching. It's definitely one of those cards where it's like, hello, I'm escaping to the world of play with paper. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera around and finish up. I'll say a goodbye, some reminders, and let you guys go for the night. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. It seemed like you did from all the comments. These were so much fun to play with, and of course, I am obsessed with this card. Just too cute. So I am going to do two different blog posts, one for this one and one for the other one. Just, keep it simple. It'll be a little bit easier to do the post that way. And my plan is to have one go live tomorrow and one go live on Saturday. And the video will be on YouTube as well, either tomorrow or Saturday. Probably tomorrow, just so that people can, match things up. So there you go. If you are inspired, go out and get some of that Sweet Stockings Designer Series paper before it's gone. If you're a demonstrator, of course, buy it from you. If you're not, buy it from me. I would love it. I would appreciate it. Always appreciate your support of my business. All right, so, and of course there will be supplies, complete supply list in the blog post as well. So you'll have all the information you need. Okay, so quick reminders. Don't forget to check out the clearance rack before things go away and retire. Same with the carryover list. Make sure to get what you love before they're no longer available, because it is only available while supplies last. Plus, of course, there are lots of items at a discount, so check that out. And let's see what else. And look for my link to get the tutorial bundle for the Sweet Stockings for 50% off in my blog posts and in the description of the Facebook video and YouTube video, if you're interested in that. And of course, share and like and post and this video with your friends. Tag your friends. Share it, please. I would so appreciate it. And what else? Oh yeah, and sign up for the watercolor technique class. It's going to be so fun. I've been having so much fun playing. So I will be going live next Thursday. I have decided that I'm going to do a different kind of video next week. I placed my pre-order today for the January-June mini catalog, and I got basically all the consumables so that I can prepare my product share. So I'm going to be doing a product shares tour next Thursday, assuming that it all gets here in time, but it should, because I expedited shipping. So it will be looking at the contents of the product shares and sneak peeks of all the other products that I've bought from the upcoming mini. So next Thursday will be super fun to see all those fun new products that are coming in January. Let's see what else. Yeah, so that's my plan. So I'm going live next Thursday. And I think that might be it. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening, that you're inspired to create and craft, and maybe you'll even make a fireplace and be obsessed like me. We will see you next Thursday, same time, same channel, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I'll be watching for those hashtag obsessed to tally the winner for next week. Okay, have a wonderful week. Mwah! Love you. Thanks for being here. Bye. Thank you, Sharon. I'm so glad you like the cards. It's always fun to read people's comments. You're welcome, Kimmy. Good to have you here. Okay, bye, everybody. Bye, Elizabeth.